All right. Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the podcast from Alabama. I have Sarah Stahl, and she is co-founder of Market Movers, and she's a true force in hospitality marketing. We're going to talk today all about branding, hospitality marketing, and the areas that she's an expert in. So I'm really happy to have her on to talk about her areas of focus. So, Sarah, welcome.
Cool. Happy to be here.
Yeah, and briefly introduce yourself and we will dive into the questions.
Yeah. So I've been marketing for about 15 years out of a passion just to want to see businesses grow. And I feel like that was kind of a creative way to do so. And I've just been on a journey to accomplish that. And so most recently, I helped a treehouse resort startup go from 6 treehouses to 21. And what that looks like in the short-term rental space, which in the space, if those are familiar with it, it's really difficult to get past 10% of your bookings to be direct. Usually about 90% of the industry is dependent on the Airbnbs of the world. And so we were able to achieve 93% direct bookings using a very consistent strategic influencer marketing strategy. So influencer marketing is something that I've come to appreciate in the space, and especially with AI coming on board. I think it's more important than ever. So this could be a controversial topic, depending on where people feel influencers land in the marketplace right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I would love to delve into the AI aspect. That's kind of one a large focus of my conversations are
Great.
recently. But So talk about talking about you talk about how to get found and booked in a world of AI, cracking the code on search and ChatGPT discoverability. So
Yeah.
this is really interesting.
Yeah. So there are some people in my circles who tell me I should not say that I accidentally discovered that, but I feel like that's authentic and that's actually what happened.
Yeah.
So I've always been an early adopter of technology, just across the board. And so when ChatGPT launched, I want to say almost 3 years ago now, I have been a heavy user ever since. And so using it to develop the story and the communications with the resort actually helped train the LLMs. And I didn't even know I was training anything at that point.
Wow.
So now we've come full circle to we're about to hit January 2026 when we're going to see only agentic search on Google, which a lot of people are saying is not going to happen. But Google has already come out very strong to say that's exactly what's going to happen. So there's a lot of freak out around what's going to happen to my website, what's going to happen to my discoverability, not just in the short-term rental space, but this is kind of across the board. And really, it really comes down to good marketing foundations, because the LLM, they need such a large amount of data. They're training our websites. So the websites that are getting found are the ones that have these deeper stories. So Retreat, I was developing this deeper story with the influencer campaign. So now Retreat is actually discoverable on ChatGPT as one of the top 10 glamping resorts in the Southeast, because I helped do that training without even knowing. Now I know I was doing that training. So there doesn't have to be a freak out mode. There just has to be a complete revision of website that happened to tell the deeper story of what people are searching in products like ChatGPT.
Interesting. So along those lines, it sounds like what you're alluding to is getting discovered in the LLMs, the large language models. So essentially what that looks like is instead of somebody going to Google, somebody's going to ChatGPT and then typing in and then getting found there. What are some things that are preventing the LLM from pulling up your website or your social media, blog, newsletter, etc.?
That's a great question. So I just finished a 10 property audit to find that out myself, because there's not a lot of people that know about this right now, right? It's so new, we're all learning it together. So what I discovered is out of all of the properties that I were discoverable on ChatGPT, they all have the same thing in common, and that's PR. So in order to become more discoverable on products like ChatGPT, you have to be found at scale in other people's content. So I actually believe that PR is about to become the most important marketer in the room because they have the relationships and the know-how to get you into other people's content. And so all of the properties that were found have been featured in Travel and Leisure, USA Today, Forbes. They all have this clout behind them because now the discoverability is about reading the whole internet and not just showing up on key phrase.
Interesting. And then a follow-up question I have for you is, for example, like if you just take like the top website or top blogs on Google, or just kind of the top newsletters, even like you people with social media with millions of followers, does that mean that they're going to get found on ChatGPT, or is it still going to use some of those elements that I guess search 1.0, or search in the past has been favoring?
That is a really good question, and I don't have all the answers. So from what you're saying and what I do know, if there's a depth of content there that is credible, they're already being found, and there's a way to track that. So I track my ChatGPT discoverability in my Google Analytics. It's totally there, so I can see every month how many people found me through ChatGPT. I'm waiting. I'm going to be the first one who's like excited when ChatGPT launches their own analytics, because right now all we can see is Cal, right? Like 6 people found you on ChatGPT, but we don't know how. We don't know if we're showing up in other people's content, in what capacity. We don't know any of that yet.
Interesting. We'll talk about kind of later on, what people should be doing to kind of be improving their search discoverability within ChatGPT. The other question that was really interesting, because you alluded to AI and kind of the other, in talking about just marketers and influencers. What does that do with influencer marketing? Because I mean, now we have agents and avatars, and so how should influencers be thinking about their influence in this age of AI?
So this is really interesting, and this is a different take. Of course, it's all opinion based, right? But from what I'm seeing is some of the promises of AI are starting to break down. So where I know most is in the hospitality industry. So we'll kind of look at that, right? So there's all these like tools that people are jumping on board to use. There's promise of even replacement of staff members to do the same thing. And now it's like we've been over promised. It's been over marketed. And now that people are starting to utilize it, they're having a lot of mistakes, right? There's a lot of hallucinations, that kind of thing. So will we one day be there? I would say, yeah, right? Like we're going to work through all this technology eventually. But for right now, where we're sitting as a culture, society, people, however you want to look at that, there is a major trust factor everywhere. I mean, I'm not even talking the marketplace. Let's just talk about like from political to the marketplace, it all kind of trickles down, and we have major trust factors. So there's all kinds of isolated pockets of influence, and creators are building genuine relationships with pockets of people that follow, value, care about what they value and care about. And so those people I do not see going away. I see that influence continue to be more important in the business landscape, because nobody trusts a brand anymore, right? So when a brand puts out a commercial or something, especially if you were to watch like the Super Bowl commercials, when we see these big brand commercials, we know that they've spent millions of dollars to have that spot and to put themselves in the best possible light, right? And so there's this lack of trust. It's like, oh, cool, we're watching a Super Bowl commercial, but we also know there's problems with that company, right? So an influencer cuts through all that. So
Yeah.
it takes about 20 to 30 touch points to convert someone to be a customer. It takes less than 7 to convert them when you put your brand in an influencer's hands to tell the story for you. So we saw that as a startup resort. We built our, basically we were uh, a new resort with massive competition and no market share.
Uh-huh.
And we knew our competitor could outspend us on Google Ads. So
Uh-huh.
we didn't even want to play in that space. We went all in with influencers, and influencers told the story and built trust for us because we were nobody. And back to that trust, people know that we're going to put our best foot forward, and that's not the whole story. They want the whole story.
Mm, interesting. So the next question I have for you is, given this era, what should people be doing to kind of position themselves to, starting to get found in search and large language models?
Mhm. So one of the things is a complete audit on your website. Back to the hospitality space, a lot of issues there are hotels look like apps, like they're easy booking apps, right? I'm sure you booked a hotel and your listeners have booked a hotel and it's like room, picture, price, but right, it's like that is it. And there's no differentiation between I mean, there's millions of hotels, right? And so that's the biggest issue is if you are a quick sale kind of a website or
Mm,
product or service and you don't have a depth of story, you're going to be hurting. But I actually look at this as an opportunity to level the playing field
mhm,
because those who can go deeper with their content and tell a story specifically to their customer,
mhm.
and we have no lack of access of figuring out who our customers are with synthetic data. Like we can test all these things now with AI so that we know exactly who we're talking to and how to write stories. So website development, there's a lot of argument about whether they're losing their importance or not. I am not in the camp that they're losing their importance because the large language models have to train on data, and
Yeah.
data comes from the internet.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, the way I view it is websites are kind of like basically it's like a having a PO box. And even though you don't get mail, you may need it in case, somebody sends you. Or in a lot of a lot of people use social media now. What came to my mind when you were talking about real estate, and like you were talking about like short-term rentals, vacation rentals, like why would somebody go to ChatGPT? Or even I don't even go to, like, I automatically I go to Airbnb, or I'll go to Hyatt or Hilton, or just or I'll go to like Google Maps and search for hotels. So what is the
Mhm.
relevance in terms of just, because people already know Airbnb and all of these other booking sites?
Mhm. Two things. One, there's data that's starting to come out that's I feel like not strong enough for me to cite quite yet because we are so early. But there is data starting to come out that's showing that people are switching how they're booking, especially with more agents coming on board.
Uh-huh.
I know Booking.com now has an agent where they will book on your behalf, and so people are planning their whole itineraries within ChatGPT
Oh,
and then whatever's being recommended to them, right? So they're getting really specific. Like maybe there's a boutique hotel in France that you're, uh, I'm sorry, a chain hotel in France that you're used to going to, but you're like, you know what? I want to find the cool people who know where all the behind the scenes stuff's going on in the area. And like people are getting surgical with how they're talking to ChatGPT about their travel plans, and they're
uh-huh.
discovering all kinds of things that Airbnb it's hard to find on Airbnb search. I'll say that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mhm. Plus,
Um,
Airbnb fees keep going up, so they're in a lot of trouble right now, both with owners and with travelers.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I was talking with my colleague the other day, like Uber and Airbnb, like they started out like dirt cheap, and then once they took out all the dominant market players, they just jack their fees up.
Yep.
And,
They just
so
came out with a major summer update that like has upset the market. So I'm kind of just waiting and watching. Like I comment a lot of my own personal content on LinkedIn, but I'm kind of waiting and watching to like, this is
yeah,
gonna break. Like, you know, I mean, the margins are getting less and less when owners and the millions of dollars that they invest in these properties, you know, it's like they don't want to be given their margins over anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Um, so next question I have for you is, you know, when you talk about these large language models, um, are you like, obviously it sounds like ChatGPT is gaining a lot of market share. What about things like Claude and like Grok and these other Llama? What are your
Complexity.
thoughts? Yeah.
Uh, I think they all have their place, and everyone uses them differently. Like a lot of, I'm in a marketing group, and we're always testing all of these things and bringing our findings back to each other and learning with each other. And I've got people that I know that use all of them all of the time.
Oh wow.
And I personally, I just want to get really good at one. I feel like the older I get, the more I want to be expert in like a specific area. And
Yeah.
so I think they all have their place. I've played with Grok quite a bit. I keep hoping for good things just because I'm a huge Elon Musk fan and I want to see him win.
Yeah.
But after, like, I know ChatGPT so well, and I've grown up. I mean, like with in this AI era with ChatGPT, that when I go test the other ones, I'm like, "Ah, I wish they would do this because ChatGPT does that." And so even when I play it, especially Grok,
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it's kind of like, which browser do you go to? Do you Chrome, Safari, you know, all these different y-
Yeah.
yeah.
And then ChatGPT, so I'm a pro user. I paid quite a bit for that tool. So that's probably another reason why I stick there is because I pay pretty heavily for that one. And so I'm committed. But they
Yeah.
just came out with AI mode.
Uh-huh.
And some of the things I've been able to do with customers segmented data, which I think that synthetic data is the future because we're gonna look back as marketers and say, I can't believe we spent all that money to test all that stuff. And now we have like a playground where we can test all of our theories from like
Yeah.
email header to, commercials and stuff. So
Hmm.
the ChatGPT's AI mode and my estimation of just what I've been able to do with it
Yeah.
is incredible.
Yeah. Interesting. Uh
I haven't even needed, so I built all these GPTs, right, to like do stuff. And now the GPTs to me just became obsolete because of how powerful their AI mode is, or their
yeah.
agent mode is, sorry.
It, I think you tuned out. You said how powerful their
Their agent mode is. Yeah, to me, it made some of the need for a GPT, a custom GPT, to be kind
uh
of obsolete because of how powerful
uh
their agent mode is.
and agent mode, you can is that under is that only for, like, if I have the paid version, the
Mhm.
$20 per month, that doesn't have the agent
I
mode,
don't
or
think I don't think so. I pay 200 a month.
oh okay.
But so I just know that platform. And
Okay. Interesting.
even with that level, I have a certain amount of uses a month right now because it's like, oh, you have 5 uses left. You could buy more credits. And I'm like, nah, wait till next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, even I've been playing around with it, and now I use it as a personal assistant. I can create tasks for it, like you
Mhm.
know, put things onto my calendar, or like remind me of things, and it remembers it, and like it'll like the date and time, and so I'm using that more. If people wanted to get in contact with you and connect with you on social media, how could they do that?
Yeah, you could find me at sarahstahl.com, and that
Yeah.
is connected to all of my platforms. But I'm most active on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Excellent. And
Mhm.
yeah, really, especially the idea that, now it can interact with booking sites and kind of recommend places and based on you is very that's very powerful. So I really
Yeah.
uh yeah, great work and keep up the good
It's an
work.
interesting time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks so much for coming on to the podcast. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, same here.